Hello, welcome to this lesson where we want to make another presentation in rotation under transformation. Okay, so we continue to talk about now we want to look at how do we find the center, the angle, and the direction of rotation. Okay, so what I want you to do first is write down these notes. Okay, write down these notes. Okay, this is the second lesson of rotation under transformation. Write down these notes here. Okay, write down these notes, and then on how to describe a rotation here before we come to the example. On how to describe a rotation, this is what you are supposed to write. A rotation is described fully by stating 1, the center of rotation, 2, the angle, 3rd and last, the direction of rotation. So for you to describe fully the rotation, you need to state the center of rotation, the angle, and the direction of rotation. So I said you need first to copy these notes. Okay, you copy these notes here just like this, from up there up to how to describe. Okay, then now we can come to the example. You copy whatever I'm going to present down from this part, which is the example. We are going to draw. You need to draw this work here. Okay, you draw the diagram. Of course, before this, you are going to copy this question. Copy the question below and answer the questions that follow. So the question, the diagram is this. This is what you need. Okay, this is what you need here. This is what you need. You copy everything here. Copy everything here. Okay. Then the questions that follow are here. Below this, after this, you need now these questions here. You need to copy these questions here. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, number 3, 4, 5. Now note that I'm not going to do 5 because this is what I presented in the previous lesson. 5 is what I presented in the previous lesson. So you can check out the first lesson on on rotation. It was all about question 5. So let's now get started. Let's get started. All right, so we want to look at how do we find the center, the angle, and the direction of rotation. First of all, how do we find the center of rotation? We need to join the corresponding points. Okay? Join the corresponding points and bisect. Okay, now here, so we need to join corresponding points and bisect. And where the two bisectors are going to meet, that is the center of rotation. Now, you know, if you have a triangle, for instance, this triangle, it has, each point on this triangle has a corresponding what? Point on the image. But here, I'm going to advise that it is better we just pick two pairs of corresponding sides and join. Then we bisect. Where the bisectors are going to meet, that is the center of rotation. Sometimes it's difficult to get to understand when someone is just reading or explaining. When you begin to demonstrate, it will be easier. Then the angle of rotation, what do we do? How do you find the angle of rotation? You join the corresponding points, just two corresponding points. Just two corresponding sides. For instance, A to A1 through the center. Okay? Through the center. Okay? then you measure. What am I saying? If you have got the center is here, for instance, if this is your center, then your A is here, then this side you have your A1. So what are we saying? We are saying join these 2 points, this one through the center and this one. Then you measure this angle here. What is this angle? That will be the angle. Okay? That is what we are saying. Then for the direction, what are we saying for the direction? The direction of rotation can be determined from the orientation of the diagram. So you can see from the object, where is the image? Has the image gone to the right side? That will mean it is clockwise direction. If it has gone to the left side, hand side, it will mean it is in an anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so that is what we mean. Describing a rotation, I have told you that when the question talks about describe fully the rotation or the transformation, I mean, because the question will just be describe fully the transformation. So if the transformation is rotation, how do you describe it? You need to state the center of rotation, the angle, and the direction. Okay? So I've told you that you need to start, you write these notes, this one, then example, and then the question. So let's deal with the questions now. So here is triangle ABC is mapped onto A1, B1, C1 by rotation. By rotation. Okay? Find the center of rotation. What did we say you are supposed to do about the center of rotation? Okay? We said you join 2 points. You join 2 corresponding points, then you bisect them. You join 2 corresponding points, then you bisect them. Okay? Okay? So we are told that triangle ABC is mapped onto triangle A1, B1, and C1 by rotation. So find the center of what? Rotation. So what are we saying? We need to join 2 points, then bisect those 2 points. Okay? So like here, A corresponds to A1. A corresponds to A1. So I need to join these 2 with a straight line. This is our straight line here. I've joined. Okay. So I need to bisect this line. I need to bisect this line. But it's important that maybe I show you how do you bisect a line. Let me just show you. How do we bisect, for instance, this line here? How do we bisect this line? To bisect this line, it means we want to divide it into 2 equal parts. So how do we bisect this line? Okay? So how we bisect is that we have our compass here. So our compass should go beyond half of this line that we want to bisect. Should go beyond half. For instance, this is more than half of this line. So if I have more than half of this line, I'm going now to draw an arc this side of this line, and I also draw another one below. Okay? Then without adjusting the compass, I'll move it this side. Also draw an arc here and another arc here. Then I'm going to draw a straight line here. This is what we are calling a bisector. This is what we are calling a bisector. So I'm bringing you back to this one now. So we need to bisect this line that is connecting A to A1. And the concept is what? More than half of this line. So like this is more than half. So I'm going to draw an arc this side. I'm going to draw an arc this side. And another one also this side here. Okay. Then I'll shift my compass. Bring it here. I draw. And also another one here. Okay. So have you seen where the arcs are cutting? It's on this point and this one. So I need to draw a straight line. Now, when I draw a straight line, it will be like what? The line will be like the x-axis here, where there is already a line. So take note that even if I draw it on top of this one, so it is there. There's a line that is drawn there. So again, we can pick another pair. We can pick another pair here. So for instance, if we say B to B1, we get these two and join them. We get these two and join them. Draw a straight line here. Okay. Now, have you seen that line? I also have to bisect this line using the same concept. What is the concept? More than half. This is more than half. So I need to see. Okay. I need to see where my bisector is going to pass. I need to see where my bisector is going to pass. And I also do the same thing even down below here. Down below here. Then I move it to this point. Okay, and I move it to this point. So if you can see where the arcs are cutting, there is this point here. Okay, there is this point here, and the other one is this one here. So I need to join these 2 points. Okay, I need to join these 2 points. I need to join these 2 points. Now you should take note that the other line that we already drew is on the x-axis here. So I need to this point as well as this one. There is this point, the points that we are talking about, there is this point here and this point here. So when I join these 2 points, okay, you will discover that this line that I've drawn now is meeting the other line at this point, which is the origin. At this point, which is the origin. Are we together? At this point, which is the origin. Okay? So the center of the rotation is the origin. And you know that the coordinates, okay, the center of rotation here, in this case, the center of rotation in this case, it is what? The origin. And you know that the coordinates for the origin is what? 0, 0. Okay? That is our answer for the first question. Then I'll move you to the second one, which talks about what? The angle. So the angle is what? If I can take you back to the point here. What is the point saying? The angle. Join the corresponding points to the center of the rotation, to the center of rotation, and measure. So, for instance, our center of rotation here is this point. This is our center of rotation. So the corresponding sides, if I'm going to pick the corresponding sides as A and its corresponding side, which is A1, I need to join these 2 points, A to the center and also going to that. Then we measure this angle. Okay? So this is what we are going to do here. What are we talking about? From A, I'll come to the center here. Okay? From A, I'll come to the center. Just allow me to erase what we have already used so that what we are doing can be clear also. So we need to join now this one to the center. Then I come also to this one. Okay. Then which angle am I measuring? This angle here. This angle here. This is the angle that I need to measure. What do we use? a protractor. A protractor is what we are using. Okay, so this is our center. This point here, this point where we have a T, that's our center. So it should be right on the center here, in the 0. So you're going to see that this is 90. You start from this point, 0 up to 90. So this is 90. So the angle is 90 degrees. The angle is what? The angle is 90 degrees for that question. The angle is 90 degrees. Let's move on to the next question. What is the next question? The direction. The direction, okay? The direction. So you remember what we said about direction, isn't it? We said the direction of rotation can be determined from the orientation of the diagram. Okay? So we want to determine now the direction. So what is the direction from this point to this one? When you look at C, where is C? C is here. Was this thing, the object, moved in this way? Okay, was it moved this way, or it was moved the other way around, like it went this way? Okay, so you can tell from its orientation here that it went into this way, it went this way. Okay, so it moved in a clockwise what direction? So the direction here is clockwise. So direction is clockwise. Okay, take note, we are saying direction is what? Clockwise. Clockwise. Okay? Then the center of rotation is what? 0, 0. The angle of rotation is then direction of rotation. Okay, so this is center of rotation, angle of rotation 90 degrees, direction of rotation clockwise. I have answered that question in full. Okay, so you don't have to write this, for instance, in the exam. I'm just trying to summarize them. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so our next question is what? Find the matrix. Find the what? The matrix. Okay, so to find the matrix, this is what we are supposed to do. Find the matrix, this is what we are supposed to do. We first get the coordinates, okay? We first get the coordinates of the... We are going to deal with 3 matrices, okay? We are going to deal with 3 matrices. The matrix that we want, okay? The matrix that we want, for instance, we say, the matrix that we want is the matrix X. Then the matrix of the object is matrix Y. And the matrix, the coordinates. So we are going to have to come up with the 3 matrices. The matrices that is going to come from the coordinates of the matrix that we want, 1. And then we are also going to get the coordinates of the object. Those coordinates of the object, they will give us this matrix. Then the coordinates of the image, they will give us this matrix here. Okay? Now you should know that for the image, we have the coordinates. For the object, we have the coordinates. And then for the coordinates of the matrix that we want, they are unknown. So we can assign variables. Okay, we can assign variables. For instance, we can say A, B, C, D. Then here, this is why we are saying this y. We're going to get the coordinates of the object. The coordinates of the object here. For what? Triangle A. For triangle A. So for instance, for A, it's 2, 2. The x coordinate is 2 and the y coordinate is 2. So this is 2 and 2. Then B, okay? For instance, this is like A, okay? Then for B, we have 4, 2. So this is going to be 4, 2, which is B. Then our C is what? 2, 6. Okay. This is equals to what? Now the coordinates of the image. And what is our image in this case? This one. For A1, what is our A1? Our A1 is 2, -2. That's our A1. And then our B1, which is this one, it is also 2, -4. Okay? That is our B. Okay? Then our C, it is 6, -2. Okay? So that is what is here. So this is how we are going to form the matrices. But remember, the matrix that we want is this one. So we need to find this matrix. So we are going to be multiplying these two matrices and equating them to this one. We have the product. Okay? So you know, how do we multiply matrices? Row by column. We multiply matrices row by column. Okay? We multiply matrices row by column. So we are going to say, for instance, this one, what does this one give us? It gives us A multiplied by 2. This gives us 2A. Okay, plus B multiplied by gives us what? 2B. B multiplied by this one. Okay, that is where we are. Are we together? Then we can come to the second part. So we repeat the process. For the second one, it's going to be what? A multiplied by 4, it will be what? 4A plus B multiplied by 2, it's 2B. Okay? And then the last one, it's A multiplied by 2, it is 2A plus B multiplied by 6, it's 6B. Then we come to the second part here. C multiplied by 2 is 2C plus D multiplied by 2 is 2D. Then we go to the second part. C multiplied by 4 is 4C plus 2D. The last one is C multiplied by 2 is 2C plus 6D. This one. Then this is equals to what? 2, 2, 6. -2, -4, -2. Okay? So when you look at this, this is telling us that this part, okay, 2A plus 2B is equated to what? 2. 4A plus 2B is equated to 2. This one to 6. The same thing here. The first one, -2, this and that. Okay, so we are going to form simultaneous equations. Are we together? We are going to form simultaneous equations and solve them as such. We are going to form simultaneous equations and then solve them as such. Okay, so what are we saying? I was saying 2A plus 2B here. 2A plus 2B is equated to what? 2. Then this one, 4A plus 2B is equated also to what? To 2 here. So we can solve these two equations simultaneously. The same thing also will happen when we come to C and D. Remember that we want to find the letters A and B. So that is the only way that we have to do. Then we come back to also the second one. So we know that 2C plus 2D is equals to 2. Then 4c plus 2d is equals to what? Negative 4. You don't have to get, like, if you want to get, you can either get any two pairs here, either this one and this one. You should be able to get the same things. So that is what, so we need to solve now these two simultaneously. And now it's the question of how do we solve simultaneous equations. That's what we are supposed to do. So here, simultaneous equation, these two, they have the same what? They have the same variable. These two, they have the same variable. Okay? I mean, they have the same coefficient. They have the same coefficient. So, and they have the same sign. So to get rid of them, we need to subtract. So we start from here. 2a minus 4a. What do we get? We get minus 2a. 2b minus 2b. What do we get? We get 0. This is equals to 2 minus 2. We also get 0. So this is going to give us 2a is equals to what? 0. Then a, it will be 0 divided by negative 2, which will be 0. Okay? So to find the value of b, we're going to pick either of these two equations and replace a with b. I mean with the 0, because we know that a is equals to 0. So if we get the first one, what are we going to do? What is our a? Our a is 0. So we're going to say 2 multiplied by 0 plus 2b is equals to what? 2. This gives us 0 plus 2b is equals to 2. This is 2b is equals to 2. And our b is going to be equals to 1. So we divide both sides by what? By 2. Okay. So we know now that our a is 0, our b is 1. We do the same thing here. We have to solve these two simultaneously also. What do? We subtract. When we subtract, what are we getting? Here we're going to get minus 2c. Then these ones, if you look at the process here, these ones will give us a 0. Okay? These ones here will give us a 0. So I won't write the 0. Then this one we have negative 2. Negative 2 minus, which is this minus here. Minus what? 4. Negative 2 minus negative 4. So what does this give us? It will give us 2. Okay? It will give us 2. So when you divide both sides by negative 2, you are going to get that c is equals to negative 1. C is equals to negative 1. Now you remember, we repeat the same process that we've done this side. What are we supposed to do? Where we have c in the first or second equation, we need to put negative 1. So we say 2c plus 2d is equals to negative 2. So here I'm going to put negative 1 here. Say 2 negative 1 plus 2d. Okay? Plus 2d is equals to negative 2. This is going to give me negative 2. D is equals to negative. Okay. And 2d is going to give us negative 2, which is this one. When this one comes the other side, it will be a plus, which is the inverse. So you know that this is going to give us, this will be a 0. This is going to be a 0. Negative 2 plus 2 is a 0. And d is going to be equals to 0. So now we know that c is equals to negative 1. D is equals to 0. So now you know that our matrix was like what? A, B, C, D. Okay, so now we need to replace these with the actual values that we got. Our A is what? 0. What is our B? 1. What is our C? Negative 1. What is our D? 0. So this is the matrix that they want. This is the matrix that is wanted. Okay? This is the matrix that is wanted. Basically, this is what you do when you are given the object and the image. Then they ask you to say, find the matrix. Okay? Triangle A is marked, then find the matrix. Please, that is what you do. follow this process. It starts from here, okay? Starts from here through up to this point, okay? If you have got any other person has a shorter method, please, you can share with us. All right? So I have got another question that I need to present. Okay, we go back to our questions. I want to do what? Question 2. Describe fully the single transformation which maps triangle ABC onto triangle A1, B1, and C1. Describe what? Fully. And what did we say we are supposed to state when we are describing a transformation? For instance, a rotation. It is what? The center of rotation, the angle of rotation, as well as what? The direction. Now, we have already found the center of rotation, the angle of rotation, and the... Okay. So the only thing that we are supposed to do here is to state that the transformation that maps this triangle onto this one is a rotation. We need to mention that. It is a what? It's a rotation, because the name is not given. They just said this a rotation at the center 0,0 or origin and through angle 90 degrees in a clockwise direction. Okay, just make sure that as long as these are stated, the center, the angle, and the direction, this is what is important here, 90 degrees and this one. Okay, that is what you're supposed to do. So if the question just goes straight to say describe fully, that is what you're supposed to do. You need to go through this process that we've done to find the center, the angle, and the direction. Then you say this is a rotation. The center you state, the angle you state, and the direction you state. Okay, I hope and believe that you have gotten my explanation, and I want you to further. Now your exercise is you are going to do 3 and 4. You are going to do 3 and 4. I didn't get that 5 was a lesson on its own in the first lesson of rotation. Okay, you are going to do question 3 and 4 on this same one. But in case you have enough time, let me also give you more questions that you can try under this. Okay, I want you to copy this question using a scale of 1 centimeter to represent. You copy this question. Okay, that is if you have time. You can also do this question. It will be enough and very good for your practice. This question, up to D. What is down here is what I already gave you about how you describe the rotation. So you can also copy this question here. Okay, also copy this question when you repeat the process. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, to comment, to like our video, share. We really appreciate your watching. Please subscribe and subscribe to our channel. Okay, thank you very much.